What's up YouTube, M4 here, another adventure in the car. Today I wanted to touch on a topic that I guess people aren't really too happy when they hear me talk about it, but I wanted to address it anyway because I feel like it's kind of important to, get my opinion on what, budget Yu-Gi-Oh is. And a lot of players are, complaining that, their budget's too minuscule and they can't play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. This is true to two extents, and it's not true. I know a lot of people don't have money to really play competitively. I know that $20 is a lot for events, but if you can somehow fit it into your budget, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. Example of budget decks, in my personal opinion. Blackwings, we knew everything was common. Hell, Armor Rest was still, $4 a piece? And you can still pick up Cowboy and shit like that really cheap from the tins. And you really shouldn't have any complaints about playing Blackwings if you're a casual player. And your budget, you want to play competitively. I mean, this is all fine and dandy. The thing that you shouldn't be allowed to do, but the player's going to do it anyway, is want to play the best deck and try to be competitive and not have money. For scenarios like that, I would recommend doing what my two friends do, Austin and Justin, and then just borrow the decks from me. I have Prophecy, Evil Swarm, Gadgets, anything else in the game basically. But we'll get to that point in a little bit here. So, budget cheap decks, currently, in my opinion. Blackwings. The core is all common. You can get everything cheap as crap. Another one that's not so cheap, that I still consider budget, is Ghostricks. At most, right now, you need 2 loot cards, which are 10 apiece. And you also need, the 3 lanterns, which is 10 apiece. And everything else for the deck is common. It's very, very easy and affordable to get. I know a lot of budget players were picking the stuff off of me when I opened up my cases, because a lot of them were looking forward to, having the deck. It's very, very, very easy to get. I know another deck that players might not really consider budget, but it's Hierarchs. Photon Bouncer is common. Or super from the tins, which is $2. I mean, yeah, Gaia Chargers is expensive, but you really don't need them. You can pull off a decently good budget deck. And then the current budget deck that everybody knows and loves, the Battlin Boxers. The Battlin Boxer card, the super rare is $2-3 at most on DCG Player, plus 99 cents shipping. Woo! Things like that. But I mean, that's really cheap, guys. Everything else with the Battlin Boxer core is really cheap. I mean, yeah, on the cheap side, I would probably consider Blackwings and Battlin Boxes the cheapest budget that you can get. You can probably build a competitive version of both decks if you really push for under 50. I mean, you're going to have to do a lot of work. A lot of things that a lot of the casual players that want to play competitively that are budget don't really understand is if you work your ass off and you build trades, it isn't that hard for your budget. I mean, if you want to spend money on this game, cool, limit yourself to $50. Don't invest in packs. Wait until people come up with decks they want to sell. Talk to them, get to know them. Or if you also, you have a budget, talk to your friends that have a lot of resources. This is the opposite side of the coin. If you can't afford one of those budget decks or if you feel that those are too much, I would definitely get in with some people that you can borrow stuff from. There's a lot of players that I know that have topped. They borrow everything from their friends. They give their friends their mat. They get their invite. They move on with their deck. This is another side of the coin. There's nothing wrong with borrowing stuff from your friends. Just, make sure you give them collateral or that they trust you. I mean, I say that very, 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 very diligently. Make sure that you guys, if you are going to lend stuff out to people, make sure you trust them. I actually had a friend that couldn't afford anything, borrowed a complete Teledad deck, ended up got it stolen, and he went $1,000 in debt. Yeah, that's not exactly something you want to do. I mean, that's the downside to playing with borrowed stuff. But I mean, like I said, there are plenty of decks in this game that are budget. You just need to work the best out of it. Another thing that kind of irks me about budget players, sorry guys, I really don't mean to rage on you guys, but you guys seem to think because your deck is budget that it's terrible. I've seen a lot of budget players work their asses off to get known for their deck. I used to be one of them. Like Gadgets, back in the day, I loved that deck since it came out, since day one. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't have, the fun, fancy stuff that we have now. I mean, I started from scratch on that deck. I mean, I had nothing for it, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that, you gotta start small and work your way up. It's just the way that this world works. And, you know, it's very sad to say that. Some people are gonna be like, oh, you're just preaching to the choir. I kind of am. I'm not gonna lie. But, like I said, as for budget Yugi mons, there are plenty of decks out there. You just gotta get your feet wet, test them. I mean, if you also want to play a little bit competitively and start to get the feel for it, DN is a thing. So is DevPro. There's plenty of testing grounds. You don't even have to invest in the decks IRL, you know, if you want to play something. To be honest with you, you have resources to test these things on, and they're all available to you. I mean, use them. Like I said, Pojo is a thing. Online trading is a thing. I mean, you obviously have to watch out who you trade with. But I mean, things like that should not be much of an issue. So, just things to think about. Like I said, not trying to rag on the budget players or anything, but guys, don't complain. You have a lot more resources available to you than you think you do, and it's just disappointing hearing quite a few people whine and complain that they can't afford to play this game when there are obviously cheap stuff for you to access. I mean, hell, you can play Battlin Boxers. Even if you don't need everything in the extra deck, you can push to get that deck for like $20. I mean, as long as you try, anything is possible. I'm sorry to say that, but, you know, it's just my 2 cents. So guys, tell me what you think. I'm pretty sure I missed some budget decks in the comment section down below. Tell me what I missed. Can't really think of everything off the top of my head, especially driving. Had to go run the errands, but it's a struggle of real lives. So, but yeah, tell me what you guys think about budget Yu-Gi-Oh! What's your definition of budget? My definition of budget's under 50 to 100. I mean, some players can afford 100, some players can afford 50, some players can't afford $10, but I mean, if you can't afford $10, I think you're playing the wrong card game. Sorry. Not to be mean or anything, but, you know, and like I said, there's also online Yu-Gi-Oh!, but that is that. So, guys, tell me what you think about this little discussion in the comments section down below. And it would appear that I need to turn